press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, we'll start with the discussion of a NEET questions from chapter Ecosystem. The first question, the climax community is in a state of. So it comes under plant succession, and you know that the succession will begin with a pioneer community and it will lead to formation of climax community, which is in a state of equilibrium with the surrounding. So thereby the answer over here is equilibrium. Next, the second one, succession in a water body leads to the formation of. The psychological succession that begins in a water body is called as hydrarch, and it will start with phytoplankton, which is a pioneer community, and end up in a forest ecosystem, which is we refer it as a mesophytic vegetation, the vegetation that grows in moderate supply of water. In the same question, you can see, watch out, the answer for this is a mesophytic vegetation. Either it is a xerox that is started in a bare rock, or the hydrarch that start with the water. Both will finally leads to mesophytic vegetation, the vegetation that requires moderate supply of water. The xerophytic vegetation means it is the vegetation that grows in dry condition or water scarcity region. And the halophytic vegetation, you know that the halophytes or halophytes, you can call them as, they grow in salty condition. And there also you can watch epiphytic vegetation. Epiphytes are the plants that grow on other plants, but they depend on water and the nutrients from the surrounding, you can say from the debris of the plant, the water from the surrounding. And epiphytes example is orchids. Okay, see, answer for the second question is the mesophytic vegetation. Next, third one, which of the following would appear as a pioneer organisms on bare rock? In a bare rock, the first one that appears will be the lichens. It is the symbiotic association between algae and fungi. Lichens are a symbiotic association of algal partner and fungal partner. The algae, you know that they are the ones which prepare their own food by process of photosynthesis, since they possess chlorophyll, whereas the fungi, achlorophyllus, it holds water and nutrients for algal partner. So you know that the lichens especially produce acids which are helpful in breaking the rock into smaller particles, tiny particles. The next option over there is a liverworts. Liverworts and mosses are the types of bryophytes, and we have the green alga. Okay. So the third question, the answer will be the lichens. Next, how many secondary consumers are supported in a grassland ecosystem based on the production of nearly 6 million plants? Over here, options. The first you can see 58,42,000. It is a green plants. They form the primary producers. Then you have that 7,08,000 number, and they are the primary consumers. They form the second trophic level. The next one are 3,50,000. They are secondary consumers, and then finally the tertiary consumers will be the 3 in number. How many secondary consumers are supported in a grassland based on the production of 6 million plants will be, the answer will be 3,54,000. If it is asked a tertiary consumer, then the answer would have been 3. Here the answer is the third option. Next, in a pyramid of biomass, the fifth question, in a pyramid of biomass, the primary producers have a dry biomass of 8 kg per meter square. The biomass of the tertiary consumer level would be here 805, 809 kgs, and then especially that forms the primary producers. Then it will be the 37 kgs, it will be the primary consumers. Then it will be the 11 kg secondary consumers, and tertiary consumer will be 1.5 kg per meter square. So what they have asked here, the biomass of tertiary consumer, it is 1.5 kg per meter square. That's the answer over there. Next one, humus is. You know that the humus is formed during humification, during the process called as decomposition. You know that the humus will be the partially decomposed organic matter. You know it looks dark in color, dark organic matter, and it is formed by the partial decomposition of plant and animal matter as such. It can hold water, it undergoes microbial action very slowly, releasing the nutrients. So thereby the humus is partially decomposed organic matter, that is the abundantly formed in a forest ecosystem. Moving on to the question number 7, primary succession results in the formation of community on an area with no record of earlier vegetation. Primary succession will begin in an area where there was no record of earlier vegetation. It is the beginning, you can say. It is the beginning. See, after afforestation means growing of forest in a deforested area. Means forest was earlier there, it was removed by deforestation, then you started planting trees to produce a forest. It is called as afforestation. Abundant crop plant, earlier the farmer was growing crop, for a few years he has abandoned that, yes, and later on once again you are growing the crops there, especially it comes secondary succession. After heavy flood spoiled agriculture field, the same thing, it will be secondary succession, not the primary. Then we will be moving over to the question number 9. Sequence of species through which organic food passes in a community is called. You know that sequence of species through which organic food passes in a community is called food chain. See, we can take an example. Grass will be there, grasshopper will be there, frog will be there, and then snake will be there. If you take that, the grass, grasshopper, frog and snake, you call that as grazing food chain. So that is what exactly the transfer of energy, that is organic food, through the series of organisms by the process of eating and being eaten. That's food chain. Question number 11. Different communities appearing and replacing one another are called. So you know that ecological succession begins with the pioneer community and ends up in climax community. In between that, several communities will come and they make way for the other. Such communities, we call them as seral communities. Seral, S-E-R-A-L, that is the second option. So for example, you can take, on a bare rock, the first one to appear are lichens. Lichens make the way for mosses, and the mosses will make the way for herbs, and then herbs will make the way for shrubs, and then finally comes tree. Here the mosses, herbs and shrubs, they are what we call them as seral communities. Then we move on to the question number 12. Which of the following statements are correct? In an aquatic ecosystem, grazing food chain is the major conduits for the energy flow, because there is very little scope for what is known to be the decomposition, because the decomposition will be occurring at the bottom, and here the major flow of energy through series of organisms through grazing. That's a correct statement. Second statement, in a terrestrial ecosystem, a much larger fraction of energy flows through detritus food chain than grazing food chain. Since here the litter is the one that is especially fallen and it undergoes decomposition, so thereby, so in a terrestrial ecosystem, that is land ecosystem, major fraction of energy will flow through detritus food chain rather than grazing food chain. The third statement is the detritus food chain may be connected with grazing food chain at some level. Of course, some of the animals which are there in detritus food chain like earthworm can be eaten by a frog or especially some insects. So thereby they are interconnected. Heterotrophs can be considered as secondary producers. Of course, the primary producers are plants. They have a biomass on which the heterotrophs are dependent. The heterotrophs feeding on the plants take some biomass and they construct or they produce their own biomass. So that is why heterotrophs can be considered as a secondary producers. That's also a correct statement. Trophic level represent the functional level, not a species. This is, if a question is asked, what is trophic level? Define trophic level. Trophic level represent a functional level, not a species. That is a statement, proper statement. So here, the 12th question, all the 5 statements are correct. So then we go for the option. The first option will be right because it has got all the 5 statements. Okay, so the answer will be the first. Next, we move on to question number 16, 1-6. Which of the following statement about productivity is true? Primary productivity of all ecosystem is constant. It cannot be. Never. You know that every ecosystem, the plant species that is present there will be a change. And thereby their capacity of photosynthesizing and the nutrient availability will also change. Thereby, primary productivity of all ecosystem cannot be a constant. That's wrong. Annual net primary productivity of the whole of the biosphere is 17 billion tons. That is wrong. It is 170 billion tons. That's the right answer. So thereby second statement is also wrong. The third one, gross primary productivity is the amount of biomass available for consumption of carnivores. That is totally wrong. Totally wrong. You know that the gross primary productivity will never be available for the consumers only. You know that the gross primary productivity is the one that is produced by plants by photosynthesis, but during which for respiration some part of this energy will be utilized. Thereby, GPP minus R is equal to net primary productivity. The net primary productivity will be available for primary consumers, that is herbivores. So thereby, the third statement is also wrong. Let's go for the fourth statement. Primary productivity depends upon the plant species inhabiting a particular area in a particular ecosystem. That's proper and correct. So thereby the fourth option is exactly correct. Next we move on to 18th question. Question number 18. Which of the following significantly increase the rate of release of carbon dioxide into atmosphere? Say you know that the rapid deforestation, cutting down the forest, will increase the rate of release of carbon dioxide, because the plants will be using the carbon dioxide for photosynthesis and release the oxygen. Massive burning of fossil fuels for energy and transport. For producing the energy in the form of generators, we will be using the diesel or petrol, and also we will be using diesel or petrol for transport. So thereby the combustion of fossil fuels will also add the carbon dioxide. Burning of wood. So wood, if you burn the wood, naturally carbon dioxide get released. ನಿಂಗೆ ವುಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸೌದೆ ಒಲೆ ಉರಿಸೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಸೌದೆ ಏನೋ ಬೆಂಕಿ ಹಾಕೋದು. ಸೊ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫೈರ್, and then combustion of organic matter, okay, during decomposition and other volcanic activity, even from volcanoes when they are releasing the lava, along with that carbon dioxide get released. So here all these A, B, C, D, E, F, okay, all these will significantly increase the rate of release of carbon dioxide into atmosphere. So thereby the option second will be the proper one. Next, we move on to 20th question. Which of the following is not a producer? The producer has to be a plant. Whenever we say about a plant, it should be a plant with chlorophyll. Here Spirogyra, an algae, and it's having chlorophyll, photosynthetic. Valvax and nostoc, both are blue-green algae. They have a chlorophyll A. And here in this, Spirogyra is a producer, Valvax is a producer, nostoc is a producer. Coming on to second option, Agaricus. It is nothing but mushroom, and it's a fungi. And you know that the fungi are achlorophyllous plants. What is meant by that achlorophyllous? They are without chlorophyll. So answer over here will be the Agaricus, that is mushroom. Then moving on to ecology in India is, it is Ramdev Mishra, that is fourth one, Ramdev Mishra. He was born in 1908 and lived up to 1998, and he is called the father of Indian ecology. Yes, the 21st question, the answer will be the fourth one. Moving on to the 23rd question. Habitat include. What is meant by habitat? You call that as a dwelling place, or a place where a living organism will reside. And you know that it is the one that include biotic component, whatever the surrounding living organisms, they constitute their habitat. And also it also include abiotic components, non-living one, like soil, temperature, light, okay, water, etc. And also it includes pathogen, disease causing one, the predator which can eat this organism, the parasite that are depending upon this, and also the competitors. So the habitat of an individual or organism include biotic components, abiotic component, biotic means living components, abiotic means non-living components, then pathogens, the one that causes disease, microorganisms, predators, the one that eat the particular organism, the parasite, the one that is depending upon this individual, the competitors, they compete with this individual for the food and other things. So answer over here will be all the above. Then we will be moving over to question number 25. Carbon dioxide of atmosphere is almost completely lost from cycling due to formation of calcareous sediments. So the calcareous sediments are formed in especially the what is known to be the water body marine, okay, and that is composed of calcium carbonate. So they will not be returning to the circulation, so many times. So thereby formation of calcareous sediments will be lost, okay, lost from the circulation in biogeochemical cycle in a carbon cycle. Next one, 26th. Low temperature induction of germination is called. Low temperature treatment we call before sowing a seed. If it is subjected to low temperature treatment, then the germination process will be triggered, will become fast, rapid it becomes. So that concept is called as vernalization. Vernalization is the correct answer for it. Stratification means arrangement in form of layers. Stratification you can see in a forest ecosystem, where the tall trees form one strata, then we have the medium sized, and then the shrubs, the herbs, and then the grasses, all the things. So that is called a stratification. Then we will be moving over to the question number 30. The branch of biology that deals with the study of interaction among the organisms and its physical abiotic environment is called ecology. It's a branch of biology that deals with the study of interactions among organisms. ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ಗಳ ನಡುವೆನೇ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅವುಗಳು ಸುತ್ತ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಎಬಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಜೊತೆಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಇಂಟರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಇದರ ಸ್ಟಡಿಯನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಎಕಾಲಜಿ ಅಂತ ಕರೆಯೋದು. Then we will be moving over to the question number 33. In a stable ecosystem, which of the following limits the number of trophic level? ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ಇಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕೆಳಕಂಡ ಯಾವ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರು ಅವುಗಳಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಟ್ರೋಪಿಕ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಗಳ ನಂಬರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಡಿಟರ್ಮಿನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? See, you know that the biomass is a dry weight of an organism. The number of nutrients, it will not, even biomass. Availability of nutrients, how much of nutrients are available to each trophic level, basing on the number of trophic level will be limited in a stable ecosystem. So answer has to be the third option, availability of nutrients. Okay. Presence of contaminant that increase the concentration along the food chain, that is wrong. That is wrong. Okay. Then coming back to the next one, the 35th question. Which type of ecological pyramid would be obtained with the following data? You know that the base of the pyramid will be occupied by producers. So taking that into an account, what is the data they are given? Primary producer 10 grams. You plot it at the base. And then primary consumers will be 60 grams. And then especially the secondary consumer will be 120 grams. Naturally, grams is given, it has to be biomass. Then also, primary producer has less biomass than primary consumer, which in turn has less biomass than secondary consumer. Here the pyramid will take inverted shape. So thereby, it is inverted pyramid of biomass. So answer over there is third option. Next, 36th question. In plant succession, net productivity of the climax community. See, as I already told you, especially net productivity of the climax community will become stable. The reason is that climax community will be in equilibrium with the surrounding. Naturally, in such a scenario, it will become stable. It will not fluctuate. So answer has to be become stable. Then we will be moving over to the 40th question. In the absence of decomposers, ecosystem functioning will be adversely affected due to. So you know that what is the role of decomposers in an ecosystem? They decompose the dead bodies of plants and animals and add the minerals to the soil that can be utilized by plant, and it undergoes cycling. If the decomposers are absent, naturally, then the mineral cycling will be blocked. So blocking of the mineral cycling will be affected with the absence of decomposers. So you know that the decomposers can also be called as scavengers, and also they can also be referred as saprophytes. You know that they are heterotrophs which cannot prepare their own food. Okay, so in the absence of decomposers, the ecosystem functioning will be adversely affected due to blocking of mineral cycle. So from the dead body, the minerals are not added to the soil. When it is not added to the soil, the plants cannot utilize it. That is why. So on the 40th question, the option will be the 2. Then 43rd question. Trophic levels are formed by. Trophic levels are formed by. So trophic levels are formed by organisms that are linked in food chain. See, for example, grasses, they are the producers, they occupy the first trophic level. The herbivores, which depends on these producers for the food, naturally they occupy the second trophic level. Then comes the carnivores, which are depending on these herbivores for food. They form the secondary consumer, they occupy the next trophic level. And then the tertiary consumer or top carnivores, they will be depending on secondary consumers and thereby. So all of them are linked in food chain. There is a transfer of food energy from one trophic level to the other trophic level. And also you know that there is 10% law. That is from the energy transfer from one trophic level to the next trophic level will be only 10% will be passed on from one to the other. So thereby, so it is organism linked in food chain. Then moving on to question number 44. Here you watch primary producers. Primary producers, naturally it is phytoplankton. You know that what are phytoplankton? They are microscopic plant-like organisms. Then comes primary consumers. Naturally in this list, grasshopper will be there for primary consumer, that is B, T2, that is K. Then comes secondary consumer, T3, then it has to be a wolf. Then comes tertiary consumer, T4, that can be a man. That is an appropriate. So there may be a confusion with you. A man can also be in a secondary consumer. It can be. Okay, it can be. But overall, taking this into account, you can apply that A, T1, N, B, T2, K, C, secondary consumer, T3, L, D, tertiary consumer, T4, man. So the option, correct option will be 3. Next, question number 45. A plant receives 1000 joules of sunlight energy. The energy reached the tertiary consumer will be. If the plant receives 1000 joules, the 10% of 1000, that is 100 joules, will go for primary consumers. And another 10% of this 100, that is 10 joules, goes for the secondary consumer. 10% of 10, that is 1 joule, will go for tertiary consumer. So thereby, the answer over here will be the 4. I repeat this. Only 10% of the energy from one trophic level will be transferred to the next trophic level. Taking that into account, the plants have 1000 joules, then 10% of it will be transferred to primary consumer, that is 100 joules. From primary consumer, another 10% will be passed on to secondary consumer, that is 10 joules. From 10%, that is 1, will be transferred to tertiary consumer. So 45th question, answer has to be the fourth one, that is 1 joule. Next, we move on to question number 48. How much of carbon will be fixed in biosphere annually? It has to be 4 into 10 to the power of 13 kgs. It has to be 4 into 10 to the power of 13 kgs of carbon will be fixed in biosphere annually. Now we will be moving over to question number 51, 51. The reservoir for gaseous type of biogeochemical cycle exists in. So, reservoir for gaseous type of, for example, carbon, the reservoir will be the atmosphere, okay. And then you can watch out that stratosphere, it's also the part of the atmosphere, okay, above that atmosphere. And then you have ionosphere, that is one more there, and it's also a part of the earth atmosphere that contains especially very high concentration of ions and electrons. It ranges from 80 kilometers especially to 100 kilometers above the earth's surface. And lithosphere is represented by land, or you can say rock. Next we move on to 53, question number 53. Which of the following is an enzymatic process? The fragmentation, leaching and catabolism all are the process of decomposition. First of all, basically fragmentation. The larger fragment of detritus are broken down into smaller fragments by the help of detrivores like earthworm, that is called as fragmentation. Some of the water soluble inorganic compound substances will mix with water and they percolate through the soil particles, go deep into the soil and they join the water table. They are not available to the plants, that is called as leaching. The enzymes of fungi and bacteria are able to convert the complex organic molecules present in the dead bodies into simple inorganic molecules, that is called as catabolism. So, catabolism is an enzymatic process. The enzymes are produced by the decomposers, or also they can be referred as scavengers, or they can also be referred as saprophytes. Next one, we will be moving on to question number 58. A detrivore is an organism feeding on decaying organic matter. An organism feeding on decaying organic matter, that is undergoing matter that is undergoing decomposition. If an organism feeds on it and gets its nutrition from it, it is called detrivore. A very good example for detrivore will be the earthworm. You know that the earthworm can also be called as farmer's friend. You know that its scientific name is Peritima postuma. Okay, that's what exactly. Next one, 60th question. Each trophic level has a certain mass of living material at a particular time is known as, that is called as standing crop. The standing crop. You know that mass of living material at a particular time, each trophic level has a certain mass of living material at a particular time. It is called standing crop. Catabolism we did discuss now. Humification is nothing but the process of humus formation that also occur during decomposition. Primary productivity is the amount of biomass that is produced by green plants by the process of photosynthesis in a particular area at a particular time. Next one, which is the raw material for decomposition? The raw material for decomposition has to be detritus. It's called as a dead matter, or it can be a leaf twig, or a fallen leaf, or a fallen branch of a plant, or it may be a dead body or a fecal matter of the what is known to be the dead organisms, especially organisms, fecal matter of an organisms. So all that constitute the detritus. Then comes The 63rd question. Amount of energy transferred from one tropic level to the next is, that has to be 10%. Okay, that 10% of the energy will be transferred from one tropic level to the next tropic level. So after 63rd, we move on to the 65. Question number 65. High production in eutrophication refers to excessive richness of nutrients in a water body. Eutrophication means excessive richness of nutrients in a water body like a lake or a pond, okay, is called as eutrophication. And due to especially excessive richness of nutrient, there is a high production in an aquatic ecosystem. There is an high production in an aquatic ecosystem. That is, you know that eutrophication will lead to algal bloom, and also it will increase the aging of a water body, Next we move on to question number 66. Represents below the ecological pyramid, which one of the following condition could be an example for this pattern? Coming out, look at that. See, PP4, PC21. It cannot be a number in a grassland. It cannot be a number in a tree ecosystem. It can be a pyramid of biomass in aquatic ecosystem, because in an aquatic ecosystem, the less number of phytoplanktons, the density especially, can support higher number of zooplankton, biomass of zooplankton, because the multiplication rate of phytoplankton is very, very rapid. So the low biomass of the phytoplankton can support higher biomass of zooplankton due to rapid multiplication. That is why the above pyramid is an inverted pyramid. It is an inverted pyramid of biomass in an aquatic ecosystem. It cannot be a pyramid of energy in forest ecosystem, because energy pyramid is always upright, never ever it will be inverted. Next one, 67. Out of the total quantity of global carbon, find out dash percentage of carbon is found in dissolved in ocean. The major part, that is 71% of carbon, is found dissolved in ocean, and this will regulate the amount of carbon dioxide in atmosphere. So in the carbon cycle, the amount of carbon in atmosphere will be regulated by the 71% of dissolved carbon in ocean. Then we move on to question number 69. Which factor of ecosystem include plants, animals and microorganisms? So all of them are living one. Living means biotic factors. Abiotic factors means the non-living one. So you don't get here direct factors or indirect factor. So thereby 69th question, the plants, animals and microorganisms constitute the biotic factors. Question number 71. One of the following area is an example for secondary succession. You know that the secondary succession will begin in an area where once the vegetation was present, it was destroyed. So already the conditions are favorable for ecological succession. Soil formation was there, and in that area the secondary succession will begin, and it is faster. So naturally in this abundant farm land, so they were farming it, for a longer period, but right now they have not cultivating it, they are left for some years, and after that if you start once again, it can be secondary succession. Newly cooled lava, that's wrong. Newly created pond that starts with what is called as, we call that as the newly created pond will start the primary succession. So here, and also the bare rock also a primary succession. Newly cooled lava also especially the primary succession. Okay. Then coming back, the 72nd question, match the following. The grasses here, they are producers, insects, primary consumers, lizards, secondary consumers, snakes, tertiary consumer. A 3, B 1, C 4, D 2. Correct one I think will be the first option, A3, B1, C4, D2. Next we move on to 74th question. Which one of the following is a xerophytic plant in which the stem is modified into a flat, green, succulent structure? Succulent means fleshy structure. Out of these four, Casuarina, Hydrilla, Acacia and Opuntia, that Opuntia is the one whose stem will be modified into leaf-like structure and it becomes fleshy. Actual leaves are modified into spines. The stem, which is green in color, will possess chlorophyll and take up photosynthesis, and also it will be helpful for storing the water, and it is without especially stomata, and so thereby stomata, leaves are not there means stomata are reduced, number reduced. So the Opuntia, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಪಸ್ ಕಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So out of the four, the stem is modified into a flat, green, succulent structure will be Opuntia. Then next 76th question. When a peacock eats snake, peacock ಏನು ತಿನ್ನುತ್ತೆ? ಸ್ನೇಕ್ ಅನ್ನು. ಸ್ನೇಕ್ ಏನು ತಿನ್ನುತ್ತೆ? ಇನ್ಸೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು. ಇನ್ಸೆಕ್ಟ್ ಏನು ತಿನ್ನುತ್ತೆ? ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನು? ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್. ಇನ್ಸೆಕ್ಟ್ ಏನು? ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್. ಸ್ನೇಕ್ ಏನು? ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್. ಪೀಕಾಕ್ ಏನು? ಟರ್ಷಿಯರಿ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್. ಸೊ ಪೀಕಾಕ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಟಾಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಬಾಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಹಿಯರ್? ದ ಅಪೆಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫುಡ್ ಪಿರಮಿಡ್. ಸೊ ಪೀಕಾಕ್ ಹಿಯರ್ occupies the apex. Apex ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? top of the food pyramid. That is what exactly the answer here. Next one. The annual net primary productivity of land is about land. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಬಯೋಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 170 ಬಿಲಿಯನ್ ಟನ್ಸ್ ನೆಟ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿ ಬಂದು 70% ಇದೆ, ದಟ್ ಅದರ ನೆಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಬಂದು 55 ಬಿಲಿಯನ್ ಟನ್ಸ್. ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಬರೀ 30% ಇದೆ, ಅದರ ನೆಟ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಬಂದು 115 ಬಿಲಿಯನ್ ಟನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡು 30% ಇದ್ರೂ ಅದರ ನೆಟ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ. ಸಮುದ್ರ ಬಹಳ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ರು 70% ಇದ್ರು ಅದರ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಆನ್ಯುಯಲ್ ನೆಟ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ 55 ಬಿಲಿಯನ್ ಟನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಓವರ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ 115. ಅದನ್ನೇ ಅವರು ಏನಾದರೂ ವಾಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆವಾಗ 55 ಬಿಲಿಯನ್ ಟನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಅಥವಾ ಅದನ್ನು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರೇನಾದ್ರು ಬಯೋಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. Okay, then we will be moving to the question number 79. The nature and properties of soil in different places vary. It is dependent on ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ವೇರಿ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಯಾವುದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಸೊ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗೋದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕ್ಲೈಮೇಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಆ ವೆದರಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ರಾಕ್ ಇಂದ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ವೆದರಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ಲು ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ಅಥವಾ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಸೆಡಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಒಂದೇ ಕಡೆ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹೌ ದ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಕರ್. ಸೊ ದ ನೇಚರ್ and properties of soil in different places vary depending on climate of the area, weathering process, whether soil is transported or sedimentary, how soil development occur. So all of this. So answer has to be the fourth option, A, B, C, D. Then 80th question. All are true climax community except. ಕ್ಲೈಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಸರಿ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ರ್ಯಾಪಿಡ್ಲಿ ಕೀಪ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್ ಟು ರೀಚ್ ಈಕ್ವಿಲಿಬ್ರಿಯಂ. ಕ್ಲೈಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ರೀಚ್ಡ್ ದಿ ಈಕ್ವಿಲಿಬ್ರಿಯಂ. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋ ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಫೈನಲ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಸಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ಒನ್. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಆರ್ ಟ್ರೂ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಫೈನಲ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಟ್ರೂ, ಎಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಟ್ರೂ, ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ಟ್ರೂ. ಯಾವುದು ಟ್ರೂ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರ್ಯಾಪಿಡ್ಲಿ ಕೀಪ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್ ಟು ರೀಚ್ ಈಕ್ವಿಲಿಬ್ರಿಯಂ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರಾಂಗ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದ ಕ್ಲೈಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಫೈನಲ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ ಈಕ್ವಿಲಿಬ್ರಿಯಂ ವಿತ್ ದ ಸರೌಂಡಿಂಗ್. Until unless surrounding also changes means then it will change, never ever. Next one. 82nd one. 82nd. Wash out this diagram. You can see the grasses are there, grasshopper is there, grasshopper is eaten by frog, frog is eaten by snake, snake is eaten by peacock. So here the food is transferred through different organisms, and you know that it's a food chain, and also it is called as a grazing food chain. It is referred as grazing food chain. We call it as a GFC. Okay. Parasitic food chain means the organism has to be especially the organism, one organism, if the parasites are dependent, then it is. So detritus, it will always start with the dead matter. So here in the 82nd question, the diagram what you can watch out here is a grazing food chain, GFC. 83rd question. 83rd question. In the pond ecosystem, the decomposers are especially abundant. Abundant ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರೋದು, ಹೇರಳವಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅದು ಕೇರಳವಾಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಹೇರಳವಾಗಿದೆ, ಅಬಂಡೆಂಟ್. ಎಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ? ಪಾಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ? ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸರ್ಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ದ ಒನ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಡೆಡ್ ಬಾಡೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಡೆಡ್ ಬಾಡೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ? ಬಾಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪಾಂಡ್. So thereby the decomposers are abundant in the bottom of the pond. So that is the answer over here. Then 84th question. 84th question. Which is not the limitation of ecological pyramid? Ecological pyramid in a limitation yavudu alla. The pyramid does not take into account the same species belonging to two or more trophic level. Say for example, if a bird is eating a grain, it's an herbivore. If the same bird is eating an insect, then it is a carnivore. So that cannot be accommodated in ecological pyramid. That's a drawback. Correct. Pyramid assumes a simple food chain, something that almost never exists in nature. That's correct. According to ecological pyramid, the food chain is so simple. They actually, naturally, in nature, the food chain is not at all a simple one. It's more complicated, interjoined. Interjoined or interconnected food chain, we call that as food web. The food web cannot be accommodated in the ecological pyramid. So, pyramids accommodate a food web. That's a wrong statement. So that's a wrong statement, because in ecological pyramid, It cannot accommodate a food web. Food web means interconnected food chain. Next, fourth one. Saprophytes are not given any place in ecological pyramids, even though they play a vital role in ecosystem. You know that saprophytes are nothing but decomposers, or you can call them as scavengers. We have like bacteria and fungi. They play a very important role in decomposition. They play a very important role in mineral cycling in an ecosystem, but they have not shown any place in ecological pyramid. That's a limitation. So out of the four, the third one, pyramids accommodate a food web, do not accommodate a food web. That's the thing. So this is what exactly the answer, 84th, the third one. Then 86th question, 86th. Which one of the following statement for a pyramid of energy is incorrect? Pyramid of energy. Whereas the remaining three are correct. It is upright in shape, right? Correct. Because the pyramid of energy, you know that there is a 10% law. Only 10% of one tropic level can be passed on or transferred to the next tropic level. Taking that into account, the energy pyramid will always be upright. The first one is right. Its base is broad, natural. Upright pyramid, base is broad, the tip is narrow. It shows the energy content of different tropic level organisms. Exactly correct. It is inverted in shape. That's totally wrong. It is never inverted. Never ever a pyramid of energy can be inverted. Next question, 87. Birds and fishes belonging to. So birds and fishes, so it is bit confusing. So if a bird eats a plant part, naturally it has to be tropic level 2. If a fish eats a smaller herb or something like that, then it has to be tropic level 2. But majorly the birds will be eating on the insects and the fishes will be eating the smaller one. Taking that into account in a larger way, it is T3, tropic level 3 is the answer. Next, decomposers are. Already we have discussed the decomposers are scavengers or otherwise the saprophytes, and naturally they cannot prepare their own food. They cannot be autotrophs. Autotrophs are ruled out. Autotrophs means they are the ones that they can prepare their own food. The first one, third one and the fourth option all are autotrophs. But here the correct answer here is they are heterotrophs and also they are organotrophs. Organotrophs are the ones that obtain hydrogen and electron from organic substances. Some of the bacteria comes under this category, thereby they can also be referred, decomposers can also be referred as organotrophs. So that is the answer, it is 8th question. Next, coming on to 90th question. Which of the following is a logical sequence of primary succession in water? Primary succession in water. First of all, it is to be phytoplanktons, small phytoplanktons, free floating angiosperm, and then rooted hydrophytes like Hydrilla and Vallisneria and sedges. Then you have grasses and you have trees. So this sequence is there in your textbook. Small phytoplanktons, free floating angiosperm, rooted hydrophytes, sedges, grasses and trees. So 90th question, the first option. 91st. Read the following statement regarding the ecological pyramid and choose the correct answer. The relationship between organisms at different tropic level is expressed in terms of number, biomass and energy. Okay, this is a right statement. Any calculations of energy content, biomass or number has to include one group of organism at the trophic level. That's wrong. All groups of organism that at trophic level. You cannot consider one group as such. It has to consider all the group that are present in the trophic level has to be taken into account. So thereby second statement is wrong. Then move to the third statement. In most ecosystems, all pyramids of number, biomass and energy are upright. The general statement, it is correct. The pyramid of biomass in sea generally inverted, it's also correct because the smaller biomass of phytoplankton can support higher biomass of zooplankton because of their rapid multiplication. So that statement is right. The last statement, pyramid of energy is always inverted and never be upright. This is a totally a wrong statement. So it is a reverse of this. Pyramid of energy is always upright. Never it can be inverted. So thereby, so watch out, A, B, D are wrong. So that's wrong. A is wrong. Okay, that's A is right. B and E are wrong. Correct. Any calculation of energy B content, biomass and number has to include one group. No, it has to include all groups. And E, pyramid of energy is inverted, they are given, that's wrong. So thereby B and E are wrong. Then we move on to question number 92. Fill in the blanks. Dash also represent the reservoir of carbon. Here the fossil fuels represent the reservoir of carbon. Dash also contributes substantially to carbon dioxide pool by their processing of waste material and dead organic matter of land or ocean, that is decomposers. Some of the amount of fixed carbon is lost to sediments in form of the calcareous, especially shell-like things, and removed from circulation. So thereby A will be fossil fuel, B will be decomposers, and C will be sediments. Next, 94th question. Primary productivity depends on. So primary productivity will be depends on availability of nutrients. The plants has to produce especially starch by photosynthesis, and for that how much of nutrients are available depends. And also it depends on photosynthetic capacity of the plants. And what plant species also it depends. Consumers feeding on producers, it doesn't depend. So here A, B, C are correct. So thereby answer has to be the fourth option. We now move on to question number 105. So here we have an schematic representation of phosphorus cycle, and you know that the A will be the detritus, B will be rock minerals, and C will be the producers, and D will be the litter fall. D will be litter, L-I-T-T-E-R, litter fall. Litter means the fallen leaves undergo decomposition. So here the B will be rock minerals, A will be detritus, C will be the producers, D will be the litter fall. So thereby option, I think 2 will be the correct. Option 2 will be the correct. 109. A healthy forest ecosystem. What are the benefits you can get from healthy forest ecosystem? Healthy forest ecosystem will help in purifying the air as well as water, because healthy forest ecosystem, we have plenty of plants. They will absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen. And you know that especially they will filter the water, rainwater, and it will mitigate the drought and floods. It will avoid drought and floods by bringing about rainfall and also controlling the floods. and helps in cycling of nutrients. It will want to generate the fertile soil. It will provide the wildlife habitat. It will maintain biodiversity. It will help in pollinating the crops with plenty of insects present, provide a storage site for carbon, provide aesthetic pleasure, cultural and spiritual values. That is the benefits of healthy forest ecosystem. All from A to I are correct. So thereby the fourth option is correct. Then we move on to the question number 114, 114, 114. An inverted pyramid of number and an inverted pyramid of biomass respectively seen in. It can be seen in tree and a sea ecosystem. Tree. Okay. So that is what exactly inverted pyramid. When there is a single tree, hundreds of birds are dependent on that. In even hundreds of birds you have parasites, the number will be high like that. In sea ecosystem, the phytoplanktons biomass will be less, especially, and the biomass of zooplankton is much higher. So thereby, in tree the number, in sea the biomass. So option is 3. Then we move on to the question number 117. 117. Which of the following is correctly matched? Stratification, population. Stratification means arrangement in the form of layers. It will not, with reference to population, is not correct. Parenchyma, opuntia. Parenchyma is loosely arranged parenchyma. They are present in hydrophytes. So they are not present in opuntia. Age pyramid is not related to bio. Parthenium hysteroporus is an exotic species introduced to India and it is a threat for biodiversity. That is correct. So thereby the fourth option. Then we will be moving over to 123, question number 123. During ecological succession, the establishment of a new biotic community is very fast in primary phase. In establishment, wrong. The establishment of a new biotic community is not fast, it is slow in primary phase. The number and type of animals remain constant. No, as and when vegetation changes, the animals that are depending on that also gets changed. It cannot be constant. The changes leads to a community that is near equilibrium with environment and it is called pioneer community. Wrong. It has to be called climax community, not pioneer community. Then the fourth statement. The gradual and predictable change in the species composition occurs in a given area. That's right. That's right statement. Yeah, for the question number 123, the fourth option is exactly correct. 124. Some common herbivores of the terrestrial ecosystem are given below. So they are like the herbivores, like insects, the birds, and some of the mammals. So answer has to be all the above. 125. In an ecosystem, the biotic component of herbivores are. So naturally, the biotic community of herbivores are the ones that are feeding on the plants. Naturally, they are to be macro consumers. They are to be macro consumer. They cannot be photosynthetic. The plants producers can be photosynthetic, or the producers can be chemosynthetic thereby. So answer has to be macro consumers. Then 129. If 30 joules of energy is trapped at the producer's level, then how much of energy will be available to peacock as a food in the following chain? Plant 30, naturally mice it will be 3, and snake it will be 0.3, and it is, in case of peacock, it is 0.03 joules. So answer has to be 0.03, that is the first option. Take the 10% law into account. 130th. Here, A will be the producers, the B will be consumers, the D will be the weathering process, C will be the decomposition process. Detritus to soil solution is decomposition. The A will be the producers, the B will be the consumers, and the D is the weathering process. The answer over here will be the third option. 131. Sun is the only source of energy for all the ecosystem on earth except deep sea hydrothermal ecosystem. Only in case of deep sea hydrothermal ecosystem, the sun energy cannot reach there. So except that in all the other ecosystem, the sun energy is the source. Then 133. In food chain, the initial organisms are. So initial organisms has to be the one like producers. Here we can say the photosynthesizers. They are the one because they are able to prepare their own food. They are the autotrophs, you can say. The producers, you can say. The photosynthesizers means by photosynthesis they are able to produce the food on which all other organisms are dependent. Coming on to 136. In an ecosystem, cycling of nutrients is called biogeochemical cycle. Biogeochemical cycle will be the cycling of nutrient is especially called in ecosystem. It is the one that is passed on from producers through all these consumers. Later on, all the consumers and producers one or the other day die. The dead body will be acted upon by decomposers, and then whatever the minerals that are present are added to soil. From again, the plants utilize this. This goes on happening again and again. 140th question. 140th. The following is considered as a man-made ecosystem. Out of this, the crop field is the one that is man-made. Estuary. Estuary is the place where a river is joined into a sea. It can also be referred as delta region. It is a very special area it is. See, in river there will be a fresh water. In sea will be the salt water or marine. But in estuary, it is a mixture of both the salt and fresh water. And grassland and forest are natural ecosystem. Then we move on to 141, question number 141. Select the correct matches. Sedimentary cycle, nutrient cycle, nitrogen cycle. Wrong. It is nitrogen cycle is gaseous. Pioneer species lichen, correct. Secondary succession, bird forest, correct. Pyramid of biomass in sea, upright, wrong. So, which are correct here? B and C. So, option will be second. 143. Food chain, in which microorganisms break down the food formed by primary producer. Primary producer is the food chain. Microorganism break down the food formed by primary producer is detritus food chain. You know that it begins with the detritus as such. 146. The biotic community along with interacting physical environment comprises of what is known to be biotic community along with interacting physical environment. Comprises of ecosystem. Ecosystem is the answer for this. 147. If the decomposer from an ecosystem are removed, its functioning will be adversely affected because the mineral movement will be blocked. We had a discussion on this earlier. 148. Pyramid of number deals with the number of individuals in a tropic level. How many individuals are there in a tropic level? So they are considered in a pyramid of number. Actually, one has to count actual number. So 150th, 150. Which of the following is the most advanced stage during hydroxylation? So this reference has been given in your textbook. The arrangement, submerged plant stage will be second. The reed swamp stage will be fourth. Marsh meadow stage will be fifth. And scrub stage will be sixth. Okay. If you watch out the textbook, you can get this arrangement as such. So higher stage they have asked here. Naturally it has to be scrub stage. Which is the lowest stage anta kelidre, then it would have been a submerged plant stage. Okay. So this question can also be changed. Which comes in between the reed swamp stage and marsh meadow stage. Like that also the question can be made from this. Next, 153. Paratima and its close relatives obtain nourishment from, especially. So you know that, so the Paratima is nothing but earthworm, earthworms, you call that as farmer's friend. It will especially obtain the nourishment from decaying fallen leaves and soil organic matter. Soil organic matter. Coming on to the 157. Ocean occupies a percent of Earth's surface, that is 70% of Earth's surface, and have a productivity of B. You know that the ocean productivity, net primary productivity will be 55 tons. And whereas the productivity of the whole biosphere, it is 170 billion tons. You know that the land area that occupies only 30% in turn has the productivity of about 115 net primary productivity. So thereby, so here the option will be the third 70-30. 161. Carbon cycle occurs through the atmosphere, the ocean, living organisms and dead organisms. So all are included in carbon cycle. So it has to be the fourth option, A, B, C, D. Next we move on to the question number 167. Which one is the detritus food chain? The third option, organic matter, because it has to start with the dead matter, that is detritus, organic matter, bacteria and mollusk. Then coming on to 170. Which process of decomposition is correctly described? Leaching, water soluble inorganic nutrient rise up to the top of layer of the soil. It's a bottom layer of the soil, so that is wrong. Fragmentation carried out by organisms such as earthworm, that is correct, because earthworm here acts as a detrivore. It can break down the larger particles into the smaller one. Humidification leads to accumulation of dark colored substance humus, which undergoes the microbial action at a very fast rate. Leads to accumulation of dark colored substance called humus is correct, but it undergoes microbial action at a very fast rate is wrong, because it undergoes microbial action at a very slow rate. So thereby that statement is wrong. Catabolism is the last step of decomposition under fully anaerobic condition. Catabolism is the initial step where it occurs along with leaching fragmentation, and it is an enzymatic process. So thereby fourth is also wrong. So correct one is the second option, fragmentation carried out by organisms such as earthworm. Then we move on to the question number 176. Identify the incorrect statement from the following. The pyramid of energy is mostly upright, but sometime it may be inverted. We have made it very clear The pyramid of energy never ever can be inverted. It has always upright. So first statement itself is wrong. Pyramid of number and biomass may be either upright or inverted. Correct. Pyramid of biomass in sea generally inverted, as biomass of fish far exceeds that of phytoplankton. Since the phytoplanktons multiply at the faster rate, they can feed the increasing biomass fishes. The food chains are generally short with few trophic level, as only 10% of the energy is transferred to higher trophic level from lower one. It's a correct statement. So from the following statement, okay, see the first statement is right, wrong, the other three statements are right. So this conclude our discussion regarding the ecosystem.